Welcome to the lecture called Filter Function for Users List. Through this video, you will learn how to implement the filter or search functionality for the user listing page, so admin users can type a keyword into the search box here and filter out the user list. The application will display only users whose details match the specified keyword. Here's a closer look at the filter form. We have the label filter and the text box keyword and a search button and a clear button. Click the search button will perform filtering, and click clear button will display the first page of users. Here's a search result when we type the keyword Bruce here, and there are two matching users are displayed. The first one has the first name matches the keyword, and the second user has the last name Bruce that matches the keyword. And this is the result when we type the keyword is Gmail, and you see only users whose email is Gmail display. And you can see the result is also paginated. There are 4 pages for the result of the search with the keyword is Gmail. And this is the result when we type the keyword is Ana Maria. So the user Ana Maria, whose first name and last name is Ana Maria, got display. And if there are no matching users, the text no users found got display and the list is empty, and we can click the clear button to reset the filter, and it will display the first page of users. Search is exact match, not full text search, and searchable columns are ID, email, first name and last name. And if we type full name, it will search for first name and last name. And the filter functionality should work well with pagination and sorting. And to make the filter functionality work well with pagination and sorting, we need to add an additional parameter into the URL keyword here. So this URL meaning that it is displaying the first page of the search result with the keyword zone, and the list is sorted by first name in ascending order. Similarly, this URL meaning that it is displaying the second page of the search result with the keyword zone, and the list is sorted by email in descending order. So we need to update the user repository class to code a search query, and update user service class to include the search keyword in conjunction with pagination and sorting, and update user controller class to handle the keyword parameter in the URL, and update the user HTML page to code the search form, and update URLs in column headers and paging buttons include the keyword in the URL. Alright, now let's coding. Open the user repository class, and we need to declare a new method for implementing the search functionality. Public paste. This method returns the paste of user. Here, paste user file. Oh, and we need to have two parameters. So the first one is the keyword, and the second one is the pageable object. So the filter or search functionality we work with the pagination and sorting here, pageable, and we need to declare a custom query here for the search query. Select you from user you where you, and for initial testing we just test searching based on the first name column here, first name like percent question mark 1. This is a placeholder for the value of the first parameter, which is a keyword in the method. Then we should write a new test method in the user repository test class here, user repository test. So we write a new method, test method here, public void test search users, and we specify the keyword is Bruce, and we create a pageable object just like in the above test method, test list first paste here. So we can copy paste and then modify. Okay, and then we pass the keyword into the file method of the repository here. Keyword and a pasteable object here. The first paste and paste size is 4. And we assert that for this keyword Bruce, we assert that the list user size is greater than 0. Assert that list users size is greater than 0, because in the database we have 2 users whose first name or last name is Bruce here, Bruce Kitchell, and Jack Bruce here. Let me write a SQL statement. Select from users where first name like Bruce. Okay, and execute this statement. You can see the result we have the user Bruce Kitchell, whose first name is Bruce here. Okay, and now let me run this test method. Run as JUnit test. Okay, the test is successful, and in the console view you see it prints the user with ID 3, first name Bruce and last name Kitchell here. This is the result of the search query for the keyword Bruce. Exactly the result we have in the MySQL Workbench here. Let's update the search query here. We want to search based on first name and last name. So we modify the query here, or u dot last name. Okay, and run the test again, and this time we will see 2 users. We got an error here. Sorry, the correct query is first name like the value of first parameter, and or last name like the value of the first parameter, and run again. Okay, now you see we got 2 users in the result here. First name Bruce, and the second user has the last name Bruce here. Let me modify the SQL statement in the database here, where first name like or last name like. Okay, and click execute, and we got the 2 users here whose first name or last name containing the keyword Bruce here. So far so good. Next, we need to update the user service class. Update the list by paste method here to include the keyword here. So we have the keyword as the last parameter in this method, string keyword. And here we check if keyword is not null, then we call the new method return user repo file passing the keyword and the pasteable object. Else, if the keyword is null, we just call the file method without any keyword. Then we need to update the user controller class to handle the keyword parameter in the URL here. So open user controller class here, and we need to declare an additional parameter. Okay, we have the sort field sort there, and now we have the parameter keyword. name of parameter is keyword and bind to the variable name keyword. Okay, and we call the method list by paste and pass the keyword at the end here. And in the list first paste method we pass the null keyword. Okay, and then we need to add an additional attribute onto the model to send the keyword to the view. Keyword, and that's it for the code for the user service and user controller. That's enough for doing some early testing. So let me start the ShopMe backend application and access in Chrome browser. ShopMe admin here, users, and by default you see it displays the first page here. And let me change the URL to include a search keyword users page 1, and we send the parameters sort view, sort direction, and the keyword equal Bruce. And you can see the result. It shows two users, Bruce Kitchell and Jack Bruce here, whose first name or last name containing the keyword Bruce, the keyword in the URL here. Now let me change the keyword to Gmail, and we got no user file because in the repository, the query here, we just search for first name and last name. So now I update the query to search for first name, last name, and email here, or u.email, like the value of the first parameter, which is a keyword. Okay, save the change and test search the keyword Gmail here, and you can see only users whose email is Gmail got displayed in the search result here, and we have 4 pages here. You see, by default with no keyword we have the 6 pages, and if we type the keyword Gmail, the result is having only 4 pages. Now let me type another keyword here, Ali, and you can see only the user Ali Raza whose email containing the keyword Ali. So far so good, right? Next, let's code the filter form or search form with label filter, text box, search button, and clear button. So we need to open the user's HTML page here. Okay, and we put the filter form just above the table here. We create a new div section and use the form here, and action of the form, th action equal to this URL slash users slash page slash 1 page 1, and we use a class form dash inline comes from Bootstrap, and then we have the label filter, and then we have the input search text box. So in HTML5 we can use the type equal search here to show a search text box, and name is keyword, and this text box is required, this field is required. Okay, save the change and let's refresh the user listing page, and you can see we have filter label and a text box here. and we need to use the CSS class for this text input. So we specify class is form dash control, and we have a space right after the label. And you can see the filter form here, and we need to have some margin for the form. So for the form tag here, we include the class margin, which the size is 3, and you can see it looks better, right? And then we need to have the search button. We have a space here, 2 spaces, and then the input button, input type equal submit, value is the caption of the button search, and the class is btn and btn primary. These two classes come from Bootstrap, and you can see the search button here, and then we have the clear button, input type equal button, value is the caption of the button clear, and we use a class is btn and btn secondary. Okay, and you see we have the filter form, search form, looking good, right? A label and a text box. And if I type a keyword here, you can see the closed icon here. Click on this icon to clear the text here. This is the behavior of input type equal search, which is available in HTML5 here. Input type equal search. We also need to send two parameters sort field and sort dir in the URL. So in the form here, we need to declare two hidden fields. Input type equal hidden. The first one we contain the value of the sort field. So the name is sort field, and value is the value of the parameter sort field. And the second hidden input is for the sort dir. Name is sort dir, and value is the value of the sort dir here. So when the search button is clicked, it will send the values of sort field and sort dir in the URL. So the search functionality will work well with pagination and sorting. Okay. Now we are ready to test the search form here. Users listing page, and I type the keyword Proust here and click the search button, and you can see the result appears. We have two users whose first name or last name containing the keyword Proust here, and in the URL you can see it sends the parameters sort field, sort dir, and keyword here. Perfect, right? But the keyword disappears here, so we need to update the input type search here to display the value of the keyword. The keyword is sent from the controller here. Okay, th colon value equals the value of the keyword here. Okay, refresh, and you can see the keyword appears here, Proust, in the result. And I type another keyword Ali, and you can see the result for the user Ali Lazar here, and Nam, and you can see there are two users matching the keyword Nam here, and in the first user, you can see in email it has a Nam word here. You see, if I type another keyword, for example, John Doe here, and you can see no users found. You see no users found, but the pagination section is still displaying. So we need to update the code to not show the pagination in case there's no users. So go to the pagination section at the end here. Showing the pagination here. So we use the th condition here, th if, and the condition is total items greater than 0. Then we show the pagination. Okay, click search again, and you can see that's the text no users found. And I type another keyword, Adam, no users found, and David, no users found. Now, okay. The condition should be total paste greater than 0, not total items. Total paste is greater than 1. Then we show the pagination section. Search again, and you can see that's the text showing user 1 to 2. And if I type Gmail here, and the pagination will display because there are more than 4 users in the result. 4 pages here. Now we need to update the search query for searchable columns: ID, email, first name, and last name. And if we type full name, it will search for first name and last name. For example, here if I type Anna Maria here, it should show the user Anna Maria, but you see currently it shows no users found. If I just type Anna here, and you can see the user Anna Maria here. If I type Nam Minh here, you can see no users found, but there's the user Nam Ha Minh here. So we need to update the search query for that. Okay, user repository here, and now we can use the special syntax for this query. We can use the concat operator in JPQL to concat the values of the fields we want to search for. The first one is user ID, and then we concatenate with a space, and then we concatenate with u.email, and concatenate with a space, and concatenate with dot first name and a space, and u dot last name, and like the value of the first parameter, which is a keyword. Okay, and let's test the search functionality now. Users, and now let me type just proves it is still working. And now I type Nam Ha Minh, and you can see it displays the result of Nam Ha Minh here with first name and last name. Because in the search query we specify the where condition is the result of the concatenation of this field: ID, email, first name, and last name. So you can see first name is concatenated with a space and last name. So the result we display the user with first name and last name and matching the keyword here. Now let me type Anna Maria, and you can see